Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of SCFGLive, Science Club for Girls Live. I'm Hannah with Science Club for Girls, and that was Mr. Music with your theme song. Very nice. Isn't it great to be back for another season, Mr. Music? It sure is. And this season's going to be even better because today we're actually accompanied by two guests. First, I want to introduce you to my good friend, Namisha. Let's bring her in. Hi. It's so great to see you. Thank you for joining us for SCFG Live.
Thank you for having me.
Well, as you know, this is a show about science. And I'm curious, what is your favorite type of science?
Wow. I love genetics. I love to see how genes play such a huge role in us humans. And I'm super excited to be here for today's experiments, Hannah.
That's awesome. Now, as everyone at home knows, one of our really good friends, Dr. Marbles, is also here today. Let's bring him in.
Hey! Hey,
Hey,
guys!
Dr. Marbles!
Hey, Hannah! Hey, Namisha! How are you?
We're good. How are you?
Oh my gosh, I am so happy to be here. I've been like waiting and waiting. I was like, when's the next season gonna start? And here we are.
I know. It couldn't come soon enough. And I'm so glad that you're back. What are you most looking forward to, Dr. Marbles?
What am I most looking forward to? Come on. I'm looking forward to making those hypotheses and some predictions.
No,
Dr.
Marbles. Dr. Marbles. Dr. Marbles. We're not
Yeah?
ready for that yet. We haven't even started the experiment.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Don't worry. We'll be back eventually with that. So anyway, Last season, we covered a lot of different topics. We talked about the water cycle, and we finished with some sweet candy science. And there was so much in between all of that. If you want to catch up, go to scienceclubforgirls.org and watch our last episodes. There's 25 of them. Well, this season, we're going to explore even more because like you said, Dr. Marbles, there is so much more to learn, and there sure is. And not only are we going to learn more, but we're going to meet so many cool real-life science experts.
The best.
I can't wait. That sounds like so much fun, Hannah.
Yeah, let's get started. Hannah, let's get started.
Cool. Well, the first thing we need to do is talk about something called adaptation.
Hannah, you mean like change?
Well, you're on the right track, Dr. Marbles. In biology, adaptation is when organisms adjust to their environments in order to survive.
That's right, Namisha. Organisms can adapt their bodies, like developing colors that camouflage them from predators, like this leaf-tailed gecko. Can you even see that? It's kind of hidden in there. The leaf-tailed gecko can camouflage into its environment and look like the trees that it lives on. Pretty cool. Other animals, like these emperor penguins, huddle together to keep warm in their really cold environments.
Oh,
Wow.
They are so cute.
They're
So cute.
really cute.
Hey, Hannah, I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at those penguins who look real cold. And I'm thinking, when I put my coat on, like when I go outside in the snow, is that like adaptation? Am I adapting to the cold environment by putting my winter coat on?
That's a great example. A lot of animals actually change the way that they look or change the way that they behave to adapt to their environment to better suit those environments. Kind of like when you put a coat on to make it more okay to go outside in the cold. And so today we're actually going to hop back into STEM and talk about some of these well-adapted animals, specifically reptiles and amphibians.
Hey, Hannah, I love what you did with that.
Oh, did you catch
Hop.
that?
Yep, hop. I love that because frogs and amphibians, they hop around.
That's
You're
right.
so good.
That's
Hannah,
right.
you're so good.
Oh,
No,
okay.
seriously,
All right.
you're
Okay.
so good.
All right, we'll send him away for a little bit. It wasn't that funny, was it?
I mean, Hannah, I gotta say, you're pretty funny.
I guess so. Well, it's great to see that in the chat box already. People are mentioning some of their favorite amphibians and reptiles. Like Mia said snakes and Jen said chameleon. Really cool. Well, let's talk first about amphibians. Amphibians live part of their lives on land and part of their lives in water. They're cold-blooded vertebrate animals that don't have scales. Now, you might be wondering, what's a vertebrate? Well, we're vertebrates. In fact, if you reach back to your back, you might feel something kind of like bony, and that goes all the way from your head down to your bottom, and that is your spine. Vertebrates are animals with backbones with those spines like humans. So amphibians are vertebrates. Some examples of amphibians are frogs, salamanders, and toads. And I see another example here in the chat box that says axolotls. I think I'm pronouncing that correct, but I actually have seen these animals and they're really cool amphibians. They're kind of like a see-through color. Really cool. Thanks for pointing that out. Now, Misha, why don't you tell us a little bit more about reptiles?
Well, reptiles can be found in a variety of environments. However, unlike amphibians, they spend the majority of their times on land. Reptiles are so cold-blooded vertebrates, but they have scales or bony plates on their skin.
That's right.
Did someone say bony plates? That reminds me of alligators.
Yep, alligators, turtles, lizards, and snakes are all reptiles. Look at a salamander and a lizard. They look pretty similar, right?
They definitely do, Namisha. They look really similar.
Yeah, but Dr. Marbles, there's one key difference between this salamander, which is an amphibian, and this lizard. It's their skin. Let's take a closer look with this first experiment.
Sounds good. Dr. Marbles will check in with you soon.
You know where I'll be.
Awesome. And I also want to mention that Mia in the chat box said invertebrates do not have a backbone. And that's right. Invertebrates means no backbone, but vertebrates have a backbone. Awesome work. All right, Namisha, what's going on for this first experiment?
All right. So we're going to test the skin differences between reptiles and amphibians. We'll need 2 hard-boiled eggs, and 1 you'll want to peel them. Maybe ask an adult to help you boil and peel the eggs. We'll also need some food coloring, some water, 2 cups, and a knife. Be careful. Since we're using water, you may want to have a towel or something nearby.
Awesome. I have 2 eggs here, and I think these eggs are going to represent amphibians and reptiles, right?
Yeah.
Which egg represents which, though?
Well, Hannah, we said that amphibians are pretty slimy. So the peeled egg is pretty slimy, don't you think?
It definitely is.
So the peeled egg is going to be our amphibian model, and the egg with the shell is going to represent the reptile skin. An eggshell is hard and bony, just like how you describe the reptile skin.
Awesome. So now that we know that what each egg represents, let's do the experiment. First, put each egg into its own cup. Be careful with the egg with the shell. Don't drop it. You might want to nicely place it in there. Now, cover each egg with enough water such that it just covers it. Be really careful when you pour. You might have to ask an adult to help.
All right, Hannah.
All right.
We're looking good.
Looking pretty good. Not bad. It's kind of cool how if you look at the egg from the side, it looks a little bit bigger than it does if you look at the top. That's called refraction. We'll talk about that in another episode. Okay, now for the fun part. Time for food coloring. You need to drop about, 8 drops into each cup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm using red food coloring and it looks a little bit like kind of blood. It's kind of gross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, now here's the hard part is we have to be a little bit patient because we need to wait 3 hours until we can check our eggs. And in the meantime, I think, Dr. Marbles, it's time for...
Now?
What? Yeah, it's time for prediction chicken.
Oh, okay. Well, before you said, I tried to do that, and you said it wasn't time.
I know, I told you it was too early, but now it's time!
Okay, you said earlier it wasn't, so I'm just saying, checking.
Okay, but now it's time. So
all right, give me a second. Give me a second.
Do you want me to send you away? Oh, okay, all right.
Prediction chicken! Prediction chicken! Woo! Oh, Hannah, how I miss the hypotheses.
I know you do. It's your favorite part. It's one of my favorite parts too.
Huh. But this one's a little tough.
It is a little tough. What do you think is going to happen with the egg that represents the amphibian skin, the peeled egg, and the egg that represents the reptile skin, the not peeled egg, after we leave them in this colored water for 3 hours?
Hey, Namisha, tell me what you think of this. I'm thinking the one with the shell.
Okay.
That one's going to have more color. Why do I say that? I'm saying it because I think that the shell can absorb more of the food coloring. And so I think the one with the shell is going to have more color.
Okay.
That's
if you're at home watching, make sure you write your hypothesis in the chat box. What do you think is going to happen to our eggs?
Very interesting.
I'll tell you why I'm thinking that, because I know sometimes people, they dye eggs on Easter. And when they do that, they dye eggs with the shell on, and those eggs can be pretty beautiful. They pick up all sorts of color. So, yep, I'm going to say the one with the shell.
Okay. Should we take a look and see what happened?
Definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Misha, show us.
Let's find out. All right. So here's a batch of eggs that I put in the dyed water 3 hours ago. So I'm going to take out our reptile skin egg. Remember, that's the one with the shell. So that's going to be this one right here. So grab a spoon maybe. Let's see. We're gonna get a little messy in here. Maybe you can just reach my hand into there. Messy science is good, don't you think, Hannah?
It's great. And that's why it's good to have a towel nearby, like you already said, Namisha.
Definitely.
Wow.
All right.
Look at that.
Whoa. Can you hold it a little closer?
Sure.
Yeah. Hey, Manisha, that one looks like pretty pale. Curious,
All right.
what about the amphibian one?
Let's take a look, Dr. Marbles. All right, let's reach in again. Ooh.
Whoa.
Look at that.
Let's take a closer look here.
Look at that. That's so cool. Actually, I did the same thing, Namisha, and look at mine. It's basically all blue.
Oh my gosh, Hannah.
Actually, so blue, the green screen is thinking it's part of the green screen. Like bluish green. Very cool.
Huh. So was I wrong?
Let's see. In the comments, was Dr. Marble wrong or right? What do we think?
I also want to point out that Gianna in the comments thought that the same thing was going to happen, Dr. Marbles, because she thought about Easter and she thought that the one with the shell would turn really bright colors.
Yes.
But what ended up happening?
Well, the one without the shell, the amphibian one, looks like it's darker. It's got more color.
Yeah. In fact, Namisha, do you mind cutting the amphibian one open and let's see what it looks like on the inside?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see the ring that it created.
Ooh.
Am I the only one getting hungry?
Look at that. I know. I'm kind of in the mood for eggs. Oh, look, it has like a ring of green around the inside.
Yeah.
Interesting. In fact, take a look at mine. I'm peeling the reptile egg and there's not a single bit of color that got through. It's all white. The shell protected the egg from any of that water going in. Interesting. Well, it seems like the shell prevents the egg from absorbing the color in the water. Amphibians have what's called porous skin. And porous means full of holes. It's kind of like, where'd that sponge go? It's kind of like this sponge. The sponge has so many holes in it, we can say that it's porous. And these holes allow for water to pass through. In fact, when I drop a sponge in a bowl of water, it's able to soak up that water because of those holes. And it seems like the egg that did not have a shell allowed the water to pass through. It was porous. Now, the egg with a shell represents that hard, scaly skin that reptiles have, like we were talking about before. Now, why could this hard, scaly skin be helpful or an adaptation for these reptiles? Well, let's think about where reptiles live. Reptiles live in really hot and dry areas. There's not much water. So any water that they do have inside of them, they want to keep in there and prevent it from coming out. And so that hard, scaly skin prevents that from happening so that they can stay hydrated and full of water. In fact, scientists think that about 280 million years ago, reptiles started to live on land. Before that, the ancestors of reptiles probably lived in the water. But once they moved to land, they needed to adapt to that drier environment. Thus, they got this hard and scaly skin to prevent them from drying out.
Yeah, that's a physical adaptation, right? Because the body of the reptiles changed?
That's exactly right. It is a physical adaptation because they're physically changing.
Hey, Hannah, Namisha, I got one. Listen to this.
Okay.
That is riveting. Rivet, 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 rivet.
That's a good one, Dr. Marbles. Because that's the sound of frog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Namisha,
All
Namisha, did you hear what I said?
Yes, I did. And I
I
like
said
that one.
Yeah, I said it was riveting.
All right, Dr. Marbles, it's time for our second experiment, so you can go laugh on your own, and we'll bring you back later.
Okay.
All right, anyway, let's get started with our second experiment because I want to now take a closer look at this amphibian skin. So tell us what we need for our second experiment, Namisha.
Okay, so let's get started. So for this experiment, you're gonna want a plate here. Okay, you're gonna want a cup of water, and then you're gonna want maybe some newspaper because we're gonna make some really beautiful drawings, Hannah. So
That sounds
it's
good.
easier to maybe draw on something here. And then you'll also need a permanent marker.
Cool. Let's get started. I got all those things here. What do we do first?
All right. So the first thing that you're going to do is draw an amphibian on one half. So you're going to take your paper towel and you're going to fold it in half.
Okay. Oh, like a book.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're going to draw an amphibian on this side. What amphibian should I draw?
I don't know. Maybe we should bring in Dr. Marbles and see if he has a suggestion. Or if you have a suggestion in the chat box, write it in. What amphibian should we draw? Hey, Dr. Marbles.
Hey!
What amphibian should we draw on our paper towel?
My favorite amphibian, a frog.
Ah, that's a good one.
A frog.
All right.
You got it.
Let's draw a frog. And you know what? While we're drawing our frogs, Dr. Marbles, I'm going to tell you some frog jokes. How's that sound?
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's see. At home, while you're drawing, let's listen to these jokes.
Hey, guys, make sure that your pictures are unfrog-gettable.
More frog jokes, Dr. Marbles.
Oh, it's so good to be back.
That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Now, I know that, let's see, Eleanor wants us to draw an axioltis. And so I'll do that. That sounds good. Now, it might not be the best one, but that's okay. Okay, Dr. Marbles, joke number 1 while we're drawing.
Okay.
Why are frogs so happy?
Why are frogs so happy? Why?
Because they eat whatever bugs them.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's pretty good. Okay, next one.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have one, Amisha?
I do.
Tell us.
All right. How does a frog feel when he has a broken leg?
How does a frog feel when he has a broken leg, Namisha?
I don't know.
How about unhappy?
Because it's like unhappy, but it's happy.
Oh my
Exactly.
Oh,
I feel like you have one more.
I do have one more, and I think that should give everyone enough time to finish their drawings. And that joke is, what's green? Oh, wait. Hold on.
Green?
I forgot. That wasn't a good one. What is a frog's... Nope. Oh, this is good. What did the frog order at McDonald's?
What did the frog order at McDonald's? I don't know.
French flies and a Diet Coke.
These are the most mediocre frog jokes.
You're so good. All right, Dr. Marbles, we'll bring you back soon.
Okay.
We just bring him in for the jokes. All right, Namisha, I finished. Oh, wait, I do know that this axioltis has these cool things on its head. So let me do that really quick.
Ooh.
Did you finish your frog?
I did. Are you excited to see it?
I am excited to see it.
All right. Here we go. What do you think?
Whoa! That is pretty unfroggettable. All right, Eleanor, what do you think of this one?
Ooh.
It's not bad. It's okay. Okay, what do we do next? I have my drawing on the front of my book.
Okay. So like you folded, now you're going to fold the paper towel like you did. In half. Okay. And on the other side of the paper towel, you're going to outline the amphibian that you just drew. Again, try to keep it pressed, the paper towel. It should outline for you. And really get in there. Perfect. Awesome, Hannah. That looks great. And what you're going to do on this amphibian is you're going to color it in.
Ooh, okay.
So let's take some time to color.
That sounds good. Also, thank you, Eleanor. She does think my drawing's pretty good. And Gianna, oh my God, Gianna, that's a funny joke. Gianna thought of, what do frogs get at McDonald's? Buggets, like bug nuggets. That's really good, Gianna. I'm very impressed. If you have any frog jokes at home, write them in the comments. I can't wait to see. Also, Meg, thank you for also saying my drawing is okay. All right.
Anna, speaking of animals, what's your favorite animal?
Oh, that's a good question. Are we limiting it to reptiles and amphibians, or are we opening it up to the whole animal kingdom?
Let's do the whole animal kingdom. I love animals way too much.
My favorite animal is definitely a dolphin then.
Ooh, I like that. Have you seen dolphins before?
I have actually seen them only once,
Ooh.
but I do love them. I think they're so pretty, and I love to swim. So I think dolphins are like my spirit animal because they're always swimming. What about you, Nisha?
I love that. I think I really like koala bears.
Ooh,
I just think that they're the cutest little things ever.
they are super cute.
And they're really fluffy.
That's yeah, they're definitely fluffy. Let's see what's going on in the chat. We have Eleanor says, oh, it's not Eleanor. Aquachu, what's your name, Aquachu? Aquachu's favorite animal is wolf. Very cool.
Ooh.
Gianna, what is a frog's favorite game? I don't know. What's a frog's favorite game, Gianna? You got to tell us. Also, Mia's favorite animal is a bird. Very cool.
What type of bird?
Waiting on Gianna's answer. I did finish coloring.
Ooh, awesome.
Oh, Leah. Hey, Leah. Leah's favorite animal is, Leah said dolphins are cute. Oh, very good, Gianna. What's a frog's favorite game? Croquet. I get it. Like
Love
croquet.
that. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Now what do we do? I got my drawing. It's blank on the front and it's colored on the inside.
All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pour some water onto the plate that we have.
Okay.
All right. So let's take some water. Wow. I'm surprised I got that in there. Sometimes it spills outside, you know?
All right. I got it. Water on the plate.
All righty. So before we actually do this activity / experiment, what do you think is going to happen when I place this paper towel on the water, Hannah?
Well, I know that I usually use paper towels to kind of wipe up water that spills. I know that it does a good job of absorbing that water. And so I'm thinking that the same thing's going to happen when I put this paper towel into a puddle of water. But I'm wondering how, what's going to happen with the colors? I don't know.
Ooh, let's find out. So now let's set the paper towel on the plate.
Cool.
Like this, you're going to take your paper towel and you're going to dunk it in there.
Whoa! Look at that. It immediately turned colors. And yes, Gianna, that was a hypothesis. Oh my gosh, that's insane.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Whoa! There was no color on the front. Oh wait, now it's kind of getting all yucky. But there weren't any colors on the front, and now there's colors.
And Hannah, if you kind of turn it around, look, it's colors everywhere.
Oh my gosh, everything absorbed that water. Let's talk a little bit about what exactly happened here. This is an example of what's called absorption. Absorption occurs when one material soaks up another, like energy or liquid or another substance.
Like that porous sponge we were talking about.
Exactly. It's just like that sponge. And this is kind of how amphibian skin works. Unlike that hard, non-porous reptile skin, amphibian skin is permeable. It has holes and it allows for absorption. And that's actually how amphibians breathe, which is really cool. Their skin allows them to absorb oxygen and release carbon dioxide. You might know that we breathe in oxygen and release carbon dioxide through our mouth and nose, but amphibians do this through their skin.
We learned that amphibians live in both water and land. It seems like an adaptation so that they can survive in both wet and dry environments. Another physical adaptation, Hannah.
That's right. And why they look similar, amphibians and reptiles, they have really different adaptations because of their environments. Wet, porous skin on salamanders and frogs so they can breathe in their wet environment, while hard, scaly skin on snakes and lizards so they can keep water inside of them in their hot and dry environments. Let's check in with Dr. Marbles because he always has a great reflection at the end, and I'm curious to hear what he has to say.
Ooh.
Hey, Dr.
guys.
Marbles.
Wow, first of all, those drawings were fantastic. They were frogtastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it was neat to see how they were the porous as well, and how all the color started to change. Really interesting. Well, I'll tell you guys what I think strikes me the most from today is when you look at how reptiles and amphibians, how they are sort of part of their environment. They had to change, they had to adapt to be able to survive in their environment. And so there's kind of this incredible relationship between animals and the environments that they live in. It's almost like one big organism, the animal and the environment. And it makes me wonder what happens when environments change, and how do animals like reptiles and amphibians adapt. So like, for example, like pollution or changes the environment or climate change. Like what will happen to amphibians and reptiles, and how will they change to be in harmony with their environment? I know they will, but how will they do it? And even how about us? How are we in harmony with our environments and with the places that we live? Well, just makes me wonder. Really incredible session.
Thanks. And that's a great point, Dr. Marbles. Different animals are affected differently and adapt in different ways. And water pollution can be really harmful to amphibians, especially because they absorb that oxygen through their skin and absorb a lot of that water too. And if there's pollutants in that water, that can be really dangerous. In fact, a lot of scientists actually use amphibians as signals on the health of an ecosystem or the health of a body of water, because they're so sensitive to pollutants. And that's just another reason why we always need to make sure that we take care of our environment.
Namisha, it's like reptiles and amphibians are like scientists along with us.
Yeah.
They're like our lab partners.
Exactly. It's like those drawings, which I'm sure all of your drawings are beautiful, even more beautiful. It's like they came to life, and they're reptiles and amphibians too.
Yeah.
It's a great
Really
point.
Cool.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I love animals and I want to learn so much more about animals. And so I think you're going to be excited to hear that next week we're having a guest scientist from the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy to talk about sharks.
What?
And I know I said next week, but that's actually in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks she'll be here. So I can't wait.
I
can't wait.
It's
That's going to be amazing.
I know. Well, it's been a great show, and I'm so glad that you guys could both be here as my fellow scientists. And thank you to all of our young scientists at home. We've had so many awesome participants today. Thank you for your hypotheses and your frog jokes and all of your comments in between.
Rivet.
All right, here we go again.
Rivet.
It's been a great episode of SCFGLive. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.